Oh, 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 Chantal, Chantal, it's Howie. I'm moving around in your bag, and I'm having a baby, despite the fact that I'm a male hamster and I'm dead, buried illegally on the beach, washed out to sea. Let's talk about her dream for a second. Let's talk about this dream. So, I think the truth is somewhere in the middle of what's going on with Chantel and her dreams, right? Because they seem a little too detailed to be the kind of dreams that you would remember that much when you wake up, right? So it could just be part of her story time. It could just it could just be part of her story time, you guys. And I don't know how frequently. Look, she watches everybody, right? She watches everybody. Right before she had this spooky dream about Howie, who was pregnant and had a baby, and then started eating the baby. And there was squid like legs, and it was thrashing around. And he put it in a plastic bag but poked some holes so there'd be air. You were somewhere with a bag. I don't know where you would have been, but you were somewhere with a bag, and you have resurrected Howie. I don't know if she watched Pet Cemetery lately or something, but I do think she watched Neo Tarot's latest reading of her, in which Neo Tarot highly suggested that she was going to start getting haunted by Harry, Howie Harry. Hilarious. If she didn't actually watch that, she certainly put it to good use. Well done, Chantel. Well done. That's some good story time right there. Guilty conscience. Nice. Chantel has started watching the Lol Cow universe, probably because Yo Mama has a show there now. Let's just talk about how much of a B team he is, maybe even a C team. He is not in the regular lineup, so he does not get the transitional push when the main shows come off air. If you are unfamiliar with this network of live streams, basically what they do is they set up a push, and their audience will automatically migrate to the next show. So the first one is Lol Cow Live, which I think normally runs about 3 hours, and that's the one with Keemstar and Boogie and Wings. Three hosts is what they have within their budget to pay. Anybody else you see on that show is doing it to network or whatnot, but they are not getting paid. That includes people on the back end, like the docket team and stuff like that. There might be some paid positions on the back end, like producers, or if they have like shares in a show, but that's about it. So they have an interesting way that they do it. they try and encourage everybody to have a concept for their show and to have sell cross marketing of the other shows. Keemstar is really interesting that way because that was Walt Disney's vision. Walt Disney is famously known for inventing licensing. And for those of you who may not have a business degree or whatnot, licensing is when you set up a contract where people can use your um, trademarks and copyrights to be an extension of the product that you're making, right? So he invented that, but he also became the master of cross marketing by having the amusement parks, which get people to buy merchandise. And the merchandise is drawing people in from the movies and cartoons. And all of this circles back to I want to go to Disney World, I want to go to Disneyland, and oh my gosh, this new movie's coming out, and so on and so forth. So that's why Disney has been so successful. And they are ferocious about protecting their trademarks and copyrights. They even went after a daycare center in Florida that had hand painted Mickey Mouse drawings and stuff in their facility. Amazing. That was years ago. Years and years ago. I'm not going to do, well, I haven't been doing long live streams because I've been so uncomfortable. Today's a better day. Every day is a better day. I have learned that having some cool things, because I've been drinking tea, I've been drinking coffee with Ovaltine in it, I've been drinking, a lot of hot liquids, the broth and stuff. I started having sugar-free fudgesicles at night, and it helps. It helps. It's not enough to like be a cure, but it helps. It helps me fall asleep, and getting that rest helps me wake up with a little bit less pain, which is nice. This is true with returning back to drinking Diet Pepsi. Having a cold drink in the morning or in the afternoon helps combat all of the hot things that I'm drinking, right? I'm no doctor, but so anyway, I am so glad that none of my pets are haunting me. Oh my God, even. I mean, I had feels over losing every single one of them. And maybe that's part of the problem with Chantel, is it's pretty clear she had no feels. She's like, okay, stick them in the sand, smiles and laughter all the way to go get some food now. Oh no, I think they went to go pet camels after that or something, right? And they had a lot of backbiting at each other on the way to the camels because she kept wanting to stop for a snack and Slaw didn't want her to. He's like, a healthy snack. Must be a healthy snack. Well, what do you consider healthy? Like a piece of fruit? Do you consider a Snickers healthy? What do you consider healthy? He hilariously makes a stand once in a while like he actually cares, but it's so clear he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He really doesn't care. Otherwise, he would have been there on Valentine's Day. He does not care. Oh, by the way, to whoever it was in Yaba's chat this morning who said you don't think Chantel put any egg in her dough when she was making those cookies. I did cover the video. I didn't think it was necessary to bring this up because it was clearly visible in the footage that she did have an egg, but she wasn't measuring anything, so God knows if it was the right measurement, if she needed one or two, or, like, I have no idea what she was slopping together there. Um, yeah. I always get one bee during the spring, and it sticks with me. I think I read somewhere that bees, when they're born, they're assigned a job and a route. They're obviously the, most organized of all the insect world, right? So they get, upon birth, a route. And some unlucky bee every year gets to scout out my balcony. The only thing I have up here are succulents. So I don't know if there's any pollen in those succulents, but I don't exactly have a green thumb, so who knows? But he likes to come over here. He, she, they, them. I have no idea what's going on with them. Oh, actually, didn't they say that all of the bees are male except for the queen? And when the queen dies, um, they choose a new queen, but the queen goes through like a metamorphosis. I think that's how it goes, but I'm no scientist. I'm no biologist, you guys. So I think overall it was a nice weekend because finally the rain stopped. The sun's come out. It's supposed to be 69 today, which will be nice. I really need it to warm up because my legs do better in warmer weather. And I've been super careful not to fall using the walker up here and watching the floor, making sure I'm not gonna like trip on a cord or something. Um, but at least I found some workarounds until I can fully flush what they did to me while I was in the hospital. And I did look at my health site. They put nothing on the books for me. I specifically asked for telehealth appointments. They're not on the calendar at all. And I can't do anything about it until tomorrow. But I'm just like, why has it always got to be difficult? Why is everything got to be difficult? Everything is like, I make the call, I talk to all the right people, and then nothing happens, right? Like, how do I make this better? Because I'm getting nowhere. But anyway, I have lunch planned with my mom today, and then I'm going to go home and try and get all my tax stuff together. I got to do my taxes. We all got to do our taxes. And the earlier you get them done, the faster you either know what your bill is or you get your refund, right? So better sooner than later. Um, but yeah, I'm so glad it's finally warming up a little bit. This is probably why they put that in the newsletter. We will be managing the pool rules. Well, thank you for writing it down that you haven't been for years. For years. Oh my God. But now you're going to do it. Okay. Cool. So, yeah, drinking a cold drink is helping flush the system. I also have been drinking cold water too. Not too cold though. You know, Europeans drink their water at room temp. I don't know what the theory is behind that, but at my old job, we were owned by a French parent company. And every time we had the expats come over for meetings and stuff, we had to make sure that the meeting rooms were stocked with room temperature bottled water. I should have looked this up and figured out why would that be? I don't know. I have no idea. No clue. No clue. Chantel has not lost her love and desire to be a part of the lolcow universe. And I think this is partially, Mama trying to gas her up again and see if he can like get her onto his show, right? His show is kind of like a parody of QVC. And like I said, it's not part of the rotation that gets the push forward on the fan base, the true Lowell Cow Universe fan base. I think today is the day they start actually arriving to their fat cat. Um, so I don't know what day they actually start doing it, doing their workout. A lot of them have threatened, I'm not going. Of course you're going. You're all going to go. If you have a fit, it'll be over a single activity. It'll be, nope, I can't do that. Right? But you're going to go because you want to meet everybody. And you want to, you don't want to miss out on the fun. And even if it means dieting for however long you intend to be there, it'll be worth it for the memories, for the networking, for all that, because I think they invited some of what they call, I think they call them pay pigs, which is the people who have donated larger sums of money on these shows to go get invited to exclusive stuff like this. It's going to be a good day. I haven't decided if I'm going to record it or not, but I'm going to have oysters on half shell and some clam chowder for lunch with my mama. It's going to be so tasty. I haven't had it in a while now, and I really love that. The other one I've been craving is pho. But it's obviously based on the layout of that restaurant. Their outdoor seating would maybe even still be too wet and too cold because I think it's like metal chairs, and I don't think they've been putting up like heat lamps for this. Sally is seeing the sun come into my bedroom, so she thinks it's cool. She can bark at anything she sees outside right now. She's muffled. in my bedroom, so I'm not going to make a big deal of it right now. Plus, it's a decent hour of the day. You know, it's not like the middle of the night or anything. Um, I have heard a commotion amongst the dogs, so I'm assuming we must have had a full moon recently because that's when the coyotes start roaming the neighborhood. Sure, a lot of you have stuff like that going on if you live near a ravine or near an outdoor space. There's always going to be wildlife. At our old apartment, when my son was very little, we used to have raccoons come into the backyard. It was a small backyard, unkept, small backyard. And unfortunately for us, there was the dumpster on the other side of the wall from where we lived. So late at night, the raccoons would come and raid the dumpster. And I had been using that space as a place to go smoking late at night, right? I had to because I had caught a peeping Tom on the front side of the house when I was using that space. So I had to switch it up. Danger in the back of me, danger in the front of me. There was a conversation, might have been on Yaba this morning. I was still kind of waking up while I was watching her thing. Um, but they were talking about this sound that it sounded like maybe a gunshot, but it could have been a tire blowout because it doesn't seem like they're upkeeping their roads very well, which is part of the reason that um, they're going to have some suspension problems with Salah's car, right? Because not only do they have these speed bumps that Chantel totally doesn't pay attention to, but they have potholes and things, and they themselves live on a dirt lot, which erodes a lot, you know? So it could have been a tire blowout, but then this whole conversation, oh no, I'm blending things because they talked about this on Rewinds last night. That if you didn't live in a neighborhood where you got used to gunshots, then you have no cred. Kind of, something like that or whatever. The apartment that we were living in when my son was much younger, there was a gang fight somewhere around like 2 in the morning um, outside of the complex on the street, which I lived pretty close to the front of the complex um, where this happened, right? And the young man did die. And we're very close to a hospital. Um, but I guess the rest of them ran down to another apartment building and they did something to a woman down there too. But I kind of felt like that the next day. Well, first of all, the cops banged on my door. I had called it in. I said, "Hey, this is what I heard. This is what time I heard it." Right? And then I went to sleep. And then I got a knock on the door. It was police, and they interviewed me about what I heard, which basically all I could be was like a timeline witness. Um, because we were inside falling asleep or watching a movie or, something like that when this happened. But I said, have you talked to the family that lives in the apartment right next to where it happened? And they said they won't open the door for us. And I had found out later that was because the man that lived there had a rap sheet. And I don't know if he had outstanding warrants or whatnot, but he was a problem. So he's like, I didn't hear anything. You didn't hear a gunshot. I think it was like three shots too that went off at 2 in the morning right outside of your bedroom window. For real? Okay. All right then. But yeah, I don't recall waking up in fear that it was going to happen again. I think it was pretty much a fluke. Um, but it was a sign of the times for that particular neighborhood, based on the way the property management was advertising and looking for new residents. They would go in cycles of overcrowded families to Marines to a whole other group of people that they were just bringing in. And I'm not saying this to be mean to Marines, but we live fairly close to Camp Pendleton. And so, and at the time, I think the Tustin Air Base was still operational as well. So we would get these young men in who would have huge parties and like pee over their balconies and stuff. And here I am, like trying to raise a small child, make sure he gets to school safely, make sure he gets home safely. That was, a lot of work to take his mind off of how sketchy the neighborhood was to, okay, let's read another chapter of Harry Potter. Thank you, agnostic. I don't know you. I don't throw out love all that easy. But thanks for stopping by on a chilly Sunday. It's gonna warm up pretty soon here. Um, Miss Sally Birkin. Um, it doesn't say when I'm live streaming, but I imagine it's somewhere between 9 and 10 a.m. I'm in Pacific Coast time. So it's morning. I haven't, I'll probably just have toast for breakfast since we're going to have a decent lunch. And that'll, then I'll get through like going through my mail and stuff like that. Do my taxes. Everybody, make sure you get your taxes done. Get on it. Okay, kids. And I get to say that because I'm turning 51 this year. Okay, kids. I'm going to wrap it up here so I can make some toast. And with that, I might be back later. I might not. I might do a video if any good content comes out. Um, Apparently, Chantel did a live stream where she basically admitted that her marriage certificate is bunk. It's she can't read it. She doesn't know what she agreed to, and so she doesn't know the financial arrangement. she doesn't know if it's legal in Canada. So it's possible that Canada is the safest place for her right now to get out of it, to start changing all the accounts back to her and stop giving this fool some money, right? Because that's all she's been doing. And he's a lazy motherfucker who can't even show up on Valentine's Day. So, her world is crashing. It's a little fun to watch, but there's so much food involved because all I can say is that allegedly she's going through like an anxiety crisis right now. And all of her mistakes are coming back to bite her. And the only way she can get out of that is by going back to Canada. But if she goes back to Canada, she has to deal with the mistakes that she's been running from in Canada. So she's got to figure it out, right? Let's see if she does, shall we? She's supposed to have her doctor's visit today. If she has everything that she says that she has, they would hospitalize her. I'm being real with you right now that I've been hospitalized 3 times in basically a year and a half. And I've been to the ER more times than that. My blood is off, right? My readings are off. They want to put me on a potassium drip every time. But if her readings are as bad as she says they are, they would keep her and put her in the hospital. My 2 cents. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physician. I'm not a nurse. But I am a patient myself who is constantly having up and down blood readings. So, good luck with your doctor's appointment, Chantel. And I look forward to your next Howie dream. Chantel, Chantel, I'm having a baby. It's got squid like arms. Okay. I love how she was just throwing out all this shit about people on Lol Universe. Like, I know this about this person, and this is my opinion about this person and that person. She makes it sound like she's been watching these shows for a long time. Maybe she has. Maybe she has. I have no idea. All right, everybody, have a nice Sunday. Take care, y'all. Bye bye.